And we're on.
Hello.
Everybody say
Beth
hi.
is gone, as usual.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I didn't even notice that. I have XSplit in front of the Zoom call, so I did not see that until I switched
No.
scenes. It's all
Be
good.
back in a sec.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to CarpeDM, the road to Elturel. This is our Saturday thing that we do here on CarpeDM. I am your Dungeon Master, Sir Jenks. And these are all of our lovely adventures. Yay! I'm also running the stream today, so I'm a bit out of sorts. Hello, everyone.
It's fine.
uh,
I didn't realize we were live. My bad, guys.
it's all good. Welcome back.
Necessity calls. I needed a bottle of.
So last time on the road to Elturel, we had just finished a confrontation with Healer Wrist, who is a cleric of a god called Ilmater, a servant of a temple called the Cloister of the Tear, and as it turns out, part-time murderer of people that she doesn't have any particular fondness for. The party was able to stop her from murdering her next victim, a Sir Caliph Moore, who was the bodyguard, or is the current head bodyguard, of Thavius Krieg, the High Overseer of the city of Elturel, and who was also in charge of the nation of Elturgard, in which the players find themselves. After this confrontation, the group in Skirnabel was trying to debate on what to do next. While they were debating, Snipe, our resident rogue, got a message from Kaya the Bard. Kaya and our warlock, Seymour, were up in a town called Triel, about 4 days' ride north of Skirnabel, where the rest of the party is. And basically, Kaya said, "Hey, dude, we could just get you a new body. What about that as an option?" And Snipe was like, "Interesting. What's the deal there?" And then didn't get an immediate response because time. But Snipe is now aware that resurrection is an option on the table. And Kaya, for her part, had a discussion with City, the Celestial Warlock, about it. What is needed, what needs to be picked up by the group, and also fired off a message saying, "Hey, we're going to ride south. You guys should ride north. We can meet in the middle and figure out what to do from there." With that, Kaya and Seymour started heading south from Trio. In Skirnabel, the group decided to split up again, temporarily, with Hattie going to check on Master Healer Palia, who was at the fight with Healer Wrist, and who was severely shaken by it. Hattie and Ardius were able to talk with him. He wasn't super talkative. He didn't have a bunch of helpful information to get them in his current state, but they were able to perhaps put his mind at rest a bit before headed back to the Bloody Oak. Meanwhile, Snipe and Reyna were going up to the North Green to meet with Ranger Monkshood, a ranger that they met back in the Misty Forest, who is currently working with, under the power of, it's a little unclear, Lord Artaxis, who has some link to the Abyss, suspected to be some sort of demon lord. It is unclear exactly what his role is. However, it is clear that he is a powerful practitioner of magic, as he was able to clear out the North Field for a private meeting, and have a few bodyguards on hand should they become necessary, should the group decide to get rough. However, the meeting did not turn into a fight. It simply turned into a conversation in which Artaxis offered a place again for Snipe as an underling, help him out a bit to get the other half of Snipe back. Snipe accepted the invitation, but refused the gift that he was given, that they were given. The pin, the cloak pin of Artaxis, which was handed over to Reyna. Who? Lot of information. Did I miss anything key?
No,
We're good.
I think that's it.
Okay, cool.
I think we're good.
That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
It is a lot to take in. It was dense. There was a lot of density of narrative happening in those sessions.
I bet.
However, in the meantime, the question turns to Halra, and where has Halra been as all of this has been unfolding? So, Halra, last time we saw you, you were with the group in the tap room of the Bloody Oak Tavern. And when you were in the tap room of the Bloody Oak Tavern, there were some, I'm going to call them for the time being, revelations that were going on. Silent, unspoken. The group didn't really talk about them as they had them. But just some things. Nothing concrete or nothing that provides any sort of solid evidence, but some threads that seem to tie together. This idea that the killer, whoever they were, because of course nobody knew at the time, was leaving messages about how the false will be punished for their cruelty. The vision or memory or dream or whatever it was that Hattie had about a gilded book being eaten from the inside out. And of course your own suspicions regarding the High Overseer Thavius Krieg. They seem to paint a picture of corruption that runs even deeper than you feared in the city that you adopted as your home. To this end, the next day, in the morning, you decided to head out early before the rest of the group woke up for the day. As you came down to the tap room, the only person that you recognized was Artius Manx, who was already eating his breakfast. You told him that you were going to be gone for a day, 2 days at most, that if danger should arise, he can send you a message, but that you needed some time to sort out some thoughts about everything that's been happening lately with Elturel. And then you went to the stables, you got Atreyu, and you rode off to the west. Now, you, of course, weren't going to ride all the way to Elturel, but there is a place not too far away from Skirnabel you thought that you might visit while you were here, time permitting. And this seems perhaps as good a time as any. About half a day's ride from Skirnabel to the west, there is a narrow dirt footpath connecting to the main road. It's marked by a worn painted stone, and a faded arrow points south toward Riverside Chapel. Following the path over a low rise, the peak of a steeple comes into focus on the horizon. An hour's ride more brings you closer to the dilapidated structure, an old stone chapel that sits with a quiet grace in an overgrown yard. Large chunks missing from the slate roof provide nesting sites for the fisher birds and create the distinct impression of unkept graying hair. Beyond the chapel, the Kyanthar River rushes past with a dull roar toward Elturel. This is Riverside Chapel, a favorite respite of Temal Thent, now forgotten.
So at first I take in the site of the old chapel and basically the ruins that are there. And then I unmount Atreyu. I walk up with Atreyu but leave him to the side as I then go into the chapel itself.
Sure. You have to walk through what remains of the former front gardens. Honestly, even though that they're overgrown, they're not, they're not weedy. They're not like, you don't look around and go, wow, this is awful now. Of course, ivy covers a lot of the stones, eats away at the mortar, but there are lavender plants and orchids and things that have just grown wild without anyone to tend them here. Inside the tumble-down chapel, worn wooden benches are scattered haphazardly across a floor, strewn with dry grass and bird droppings. Despite the tenants in the rafters, The room only smells of petrichor, possibly from last evening's rain. Sunbeams from the unintended skylight warm the space and cast a shine over a bronze relief of the hand resolute, still firmly attached to the front wall. And this is, of course you would know, the symbol of Torm. It's a armored glove that appears to be reaching out in an act of mercy.
So I'm just gonna one of the, what was it, like a bench? Like the bench is all askew.
Yeah, some of them are just sort of like tilted off a ways, but some of them are kind of like laying on their side. Just, whatever animals or whoever got into the building. Typically, this would have been the responsibility of people who stopped by to pray here to Torm, but just judging from how it looked on the outside and how it looks on the inside, you're guessing that nobody has come here in a very long time.
So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one of the benches that has fallen over, and sort of give it a little wipe down, and I'll just sit on it, just looking at the symbol of Torm as I'm sat down, and just thinking about all the information I've got, everything I've had suspicions of in the past, and trying to piece out what's happened, especially to when it in the past, the missing group.
Right, the one that Tamal was in charge of that went missing. Yeah, what's that thought process like for you? Do you try to do you try to find something to write stuff down, or how do you piece it together? Are you just piecing it together in your brain? Are you talking out loud to the birds that are listening in the rafters, or?
Yeah, I'm talking out loud as I'm thinking, and in my supplies, I have some parchment and quill and ink. So I will start writing some thoughts down, sort of like when you've got like a board with like the red string.
Yeah.
Sort of like that, but on paper, just so I can like start scribbling stuff and then linking it up and like that. So obviously, so one of my thoughts is that I've always had the suspicion that Krieg had to do with the disappearance of Tamal and the retinue.
Mm-hmm.
And now knowing of the corruption deep in Elturel, and how for some reason Krieg sent his bodyguard to Scornabel instead of actual city guards that would be more adept to deal with it. I'm trying to piece together what all this means.
Sure.
Really.
So you just kind of have like bits of information written down in boxes, and you're trying to like draw lines in between things and maybe like scribble things along the lines, try to figure out what the connections
so it's
are.
sort of like a little like a spider chart, like a spider web of information.
Okay. Yeah. So you start kind of trying to string and web these things together. Obviously you think that Krieg, obviously based on what you said, you think that Krieg has some deeper thing going on that's not obvious.
Yeah.
Are there any other conclusions that you draw based on the information that you know? Anything that immediately sticks out to you as a potential, like, maybe this is something?
Yeah, one thing that kind of sticks out, well, to Halra, thinking of everything that's happening with the false, and she's now thinking, Fabius Krieg is obviously corrupt, but is he false in the fact that he's acting as under a god, but he isn't part of that religion?
Right. Okay. Yeah, so you're trying to figure out exactly what is Krieg's underlying motivations versus what is his forward face that he puts out to people.
Yeah, because from what Halra knows, or what she's sort of figured out, is that it was always between Tamal and Krieg for High Overseer,
Right.
because people trusted Tamal pretty much more. But then Tamal disappeared, and Krieg took the place of High Overseer, and then made the bridge fort named after Tamal.
Right.
To make it like he's keeping up appearances, like he's like, oh no, we lost someone we dearly cared about, but he doesn't really give a shit.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so you're trying to mull all this over and figure out what it means. And you're like writing things out on parchment. There's a stone table at the front that, it's in place because it's basically immovable. So you can kind of like lay stuff out on that. Um do you do anything else while you're writing this out? Are you like mostly focused on writing? Like, are you also trying to clean the space while you do it? Or are you just like, this is your focus, is trying to lay everything out across?
Right now, my focus is on the parchment, but I am also keeping an ear out just in case there might be someone around or something around.
Okay. Okay. Sure. 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 Um. do-do-do-do-do. Roll me an investigation check or an insight. I'll let you pick which one.
Okay. Which one am I better at? Okay, I'm better at insight, so I might as well do that.
Okay.
13.
13. You have always kind of made a point of interacting with Thavius Krieg the least amount you possibly can.
Yeah.
There is very little doubt in your mind, based on the interactions that you have had, that whatever face he puts forward to the people, he's absolutely a slime ball behind closed doors. The question that you're left with is, how slimy? Like,
Yeah.
is it slimy like political corruption slimy, or is it slimy like something worse than that slimy? And as you kind of sit there and piece this together, these are kind of the conclusions that you come to. Is just it, without knowing what Thavius Krieg's deal is, like without knowing how deep the rabbit hole goes, it's kind of hard. Like that's the central, that's the center of the web, if you will. All of these pieces, they kind of form the anchors on the edges, but that's the question at the heart of all of this information that you're trying to sort through. How deep does Thavius Krieg's corruption go?
Yeah.
And you pass hours doing this. You're writing this out and you're trying to sort through this as best as possible. Do you plan on spending the night here at the Riverside Chapel, or are you going to go back to Skirnabel after you've had time to gather these thoughts?
I'm going to spend the night here because there is something I do want to look into as well.
Okay.
So with the ruins, I want to see if there's any loose stones or where someone could have hid something. Because I want to know if someone who had visited this place regularly or might also have similar suspicions, but knowing how the place is, this is the only place they had to maybe help someone else. So if there's anything like hidden under loose stones or within a brick wall, that kind of thing.
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. 16.
16. So you spend the hours of daylight you have before the sun goes down, searching every place that you can for loose bricks, maybe something that's like under the floorboards. There are places where the wood floor has worn through, places where like water damage has happened. You're trying to like look under the dirt floor, and you kind of like you do a very thorough search of this chapel. And when you make your way to the front, you realize that the brass relief at the front of the church of the Hand Resolute, there is almost imperceptibly a gap behind the relief. And you see that there appears to be, at the end of the hand, almost like the hand is presenting it to you, a slip of parchment just wedged into that crack.
I'm going to take out I'm going to reach for the parchment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to read what it says.
You pull it out. It's actually 2 pieces of paper inside an envelope. One sheet just has like a paragraph on it, and then the other looks to be a full letter. And it's old paper. The letter, whenever you start to read it, says this: "To whomever finds and reads this letter, if you are reading this letter, I am dead. If I am dead, then Thavius Krieg is responsible. This means he has, in all likelihood, ascended to the position of High Observer. If that is true, I weep for Elturel. Krieg is a wolf in priest's clothing and, like the Isengrim of old tales, seeks to prey on his flock. I have little proof to offer you, save what I witnessed a 10-day ago. Read my story and as I swear upon my honor as a paladin of Torm that it is the truth. I was on patrol in the High Hall. Not a common occurrence, but Officer Jadane, who was scheduled to take the patrol, had an ill turn, so I relieved him of duty. The hall was not busy at this time, as it was just past midday, and I wasn't expecting any sort of trouble. After making a sweep of the ground floor and paying my respects to the unknown hero, I started making my way to the 4th floor balcony. It's an excellent vantage point for observing the folk entering and leaving the Gardens of Rest, and a great place to spot trouble before it starts. It was on the way up that I heard the voice. It flowed like liquid brimstone, every gentle word dripping with malice. It was disconcerting, to say the least, hearing so foul a tongue in our holy halls, so I left the stair to investigate. Following the turns in the passage, I found myself outside Krieg's office. There was no doubt that the voice was coming from inside his chambers, and some strange quality of the acoustics carried it to the stair. Or maybe I was just meant to hear. Meant to be lured. There was an acrid stench, like a world on fire, drifting from the cracks in the doorframe. I could hear Krieg in a whining tone, almost pleading for something. I could not understand the words of the brimstone voice, but I didn't need to. Whatever Krieg wanted, the voice wasn't budging. I remember having the distinct impression that this was some sort of negotiation, but one that had already been decided before either party had come to the table. As I became lost in these thoughts, I hadn't realized that the voices had stopped, nor had I heard the heavy footsteps approaching the door from the other side. I was caught quite off guard when Krieg opened the door wide, but I saw nothing but an empty office over his shoulder. He asked if I had had any business with him. Now, I consider myself a person of strong convictions and presence, but in that moment I was at a bit of a loss. I didn't know what to make of it. So I said something about patrols and headed off. And now, a 10-day later, here I am. As I've sat here in the chapel, writing this letter and praying, I hear the laughter of the soldiers outside. We fought in many battles together, not the least of which was against the vampire scourge. They are strong and brave and dutiful, everything paladins of Torm should be. When the order was handed down of a situation at Borskir Bridge, they didn't hesitate to volunteer for the retinue. Am I leading them on a death march, I wonder? If you are reading this, I am dead. And know that Thavius Krieg, the Wolf of Elturel, killed me. Signed, Temolthent, Paladin of Torm. That's the first page. There's also the second page.
Wait, that's only one page?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to DM me this because I lost like after the first sentence. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. Does Halra also read the second page?
Yeah, Halra reads both pages.
Okay. The second page is only a paragraph long, and it says, Postscript. If, by some miracle of Torm, you are the one reading this, my dearest companion at arms, know that this fear is why I insisted you remain in Elturel. If I am gone and Krieg is appointed High Observer, I fear for our people's future. I know that you were never one for religion. You had far too much negative experience in that arena as a child. But I do know that Torm smiles upon you still for your loyalty and dedication. If you're reading this, be a torch of truth in a darkening world, and know that somehow, somewhere, I stand with you. May our blades strike together at the heart of those that would rule rather than serve.
I think there's been a switch around on cameras.
There has been. I will fix that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm so
Just in
sorry.
case
An
there was a.
update popped up on my phone, which basically turned off my camera for some reason.
Love
No, it's
that,
all good.
Love that.
Um,
That was Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna.
that was a time to. Okay. So upon reading both pages, the first thing Helen does is she folds up the parchment, and she basically hides it on her person under a fold in her armor,
Okay.
just so she knows where it is, and if by something someone was supposed to go through a thing, they wouldn't find these letters. And after reading the letters and putting the parchment away, she falls to her knees and just cries, both for knowing the truth, but also so the truth of knowing about Elturel and Tamal, but also the death, like finally realizing that it was actual, basically planned murder.
Mm-hmm. Halra, in this letter you find maybe not the closure that you were seeking, but a confirmation of what you already suspected.
Yeah.
And now you have an idea of how deep Krieg's corruption goes. Back in Skirnabel, the next morning, Snipe, Reyna, and Hattie, you all awaken to a new day. Reyna, you are awakened by a sharp series of knocks at your door.
Give me a second. And she will get up and put on her undergown. Just make sure she looked properly dressed, kinda, and open the door.
You see Ranger Monkshood standing there in the same clothes that she was wearing last night.
Oh, morning.
Good morning. I need to speak with you. May we take a moment?
Of course, come in.
She walks into the room and she takes a moment to look around. Her whole energy is agitated. Like she's restless. And she says, I need to ask you a question, Reina.
Yes?
Who is the god you serve?
May I ask why this particular question?
You see, I told you that when we were traveling on the road, Artaxis made some snide comments, particularly about you, and you being caught between gods. I didn't think much about it at the time, because I knew that you had an encounter with Eldath whenever we met, in the grove of Eldath and Rilliphane.
Mm-hmm.
But then, at dinner the other night, he mentioned spiders and demons, which I thought that he was saying to catch you off guard. But then again, last night at the fire, he mentioned it again, and I was paying attention. Do you serve Lolth, Reina?
Yes. And
Of course. Of
why
course, a
does-
cleric of the Deceiver would be dressed as a Corellian... a cleric of Corellian.
and why does this bother you that much?
She walks right up to you and gets an inch away from your face. And she says, did you do it on purpose? Did you poison Talise on purpose, Reina?
Talise. What happened with her? I didn't do anything.
She takes a long, hard look at you. I'd like you to roll me a persuasion check.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh no, no, no.
23.
23.
I seriously, what happened to her? I talked to her, but
She takes a long, hard look at you. Decides that she believes you for now. And she takes a half a step back from you. And she says, Talise is dying of spider venom. It was the last thing I was told before I had to leave for exile, and it was right after you left. So, you tell me, what am I supposed to think when a woman who fought her way out of the Underdark and the oppressive society of Menzo Baranzan lies dying from a spider bite, when a cleric of the Deceiver has just left?
I understand where you're coming from. I actually do. I really do. But whatever happened to Talise, I didn't do on purpose. This whole thing, this whole little thing, it's something I've never experienced before. I have no clue if it's the right thing to do, but I didn't do anything. I never intended to harm Talise. If I did that, I never wanted to do that.
You know what, Reina? I believe you. And I don't know if that makes it better or worse. I'm going to be in Skirnabel. Have to be in Skirnabel. Artaxis is going to go do God knows what, and he's leaving me behind until you all complete whatever it is that you agreed to do for him.
I'm sorry. I truly am.
You don't have to be.
I do. If she got poisoned because I entered the forest, if she is dying because I entered the forest, that's on me. And I can't take it back because it happened.
You know, Raina, we don't know very much about each other. But I believe what you're saying to me now, and I believe that whoever you serve, you're a good person. But spider venom affects different people different ways. Sometimes surviving the spider bite is as bad as dying from it. Because you come out the other side unrecognizable. I would ask you to consider that in your future dealings with the deceiver. And she exits the room.
Raina goes, she's sitting on her bed. I'm gonna sit on the bed and just think.
Sure. I'm gonna give you a minute to think about that interaction that just happened. Snipe, when you wake up on this fine morning, you find 2 messages ready and waiting for you. One of them appears to be a shopping list of some kind. The other is a message directing you, and I'm sorry, I don't have the exact wording of it, but it is directing you to meet Seymour and Kaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the whole message written out, so I can reread it if you want.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Let the people know.
Yeah. We could meet halfway and talk more then. Spell reincarnation severs ties. Would we bind the demon afterwards? Who is Artaxis? Why would he want that? Which is a response to the message I sent previously about what the hell was going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would respond to that one first.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 2-parter. Jesus, I didn't think of the second part.
Well, the second message you got was for sure just a shopping list. So
Yeah. Okay. So first part of the first question is Artaxis we met in Misty Forest, saw in Lonely Tower. You gambled with him. He's demonic, wants my demon to win the Blood Wars. So that's one, I think. I think that I didn't get all of those. All the words.
yeah. Yeah, that was 24. You're good.
Okay. What's the shopping list that was given exactly?
It's a list of 7 secret herbs and spices you need to be reincarnated.
Oh, goody.
I'm pretty sure the way that Kai phrased it is basically, we will need these things, and then gives you a list that you need.
Okay.
I think Kaya literally said shopping list and then gave the list.
Okay, yeah. Shopping list.
Okay. Thanks for more workload. We'll get your stuff yes, we'll meet halfway. Be careful. Artaxis is now watching over our group. I think.
That works. Yep.
Yep.
I
Okay.
think that works.
Yeah. Send.
Okay. So you send these things out.
Yep.
Now,
I left
as
it on red, though.
I left the for now.
for now. Now, as for the list that you received, the shopping list, it's a list of herbs. You, if you'd like, you can try to roll me a nature check at disadvantage. It seems, as someone who isn't from this world, it's probably unlikely you'll know what these things are.
Yeah.
But you can do your best to try to identify what's available.
Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, no mod. Just straight 13.
13. You've never heard of any of these before, but it's probably something that you could talk to. Maybe Reyna, has done a lot of like wilderness travel. Ardius could know what these things are. He's magic. I don't know. But you could definitely hand off the list to someone and get a better idea.
Yeah, I write it down on like a piece of paper and just like save it for when I encounter the others.
Sure. Hattie, what is it that you're up to on this fine morning?
Let me just
You're
unmute. Good question, my friend. She'd probably be getting another bath.
Okay.
Important things.
Okay.
And then she's going to sit down and update her notebooks. Just so it has everything that's been going on.
Now, just so that I'm sure, you have 2 notebooks that you're updating, right? You have the one with the code names and the one with the actual names.
Yes.
Do you have any other notebooks that you're updating at this time? I can't remember if you have more than 2.
She took some paper from Master Healer's office, right?
Yes,
To
I
write
think she
down
did.
notes.
Yes.
When she took that, she probably took like slightly more than is socially acceptable to take off someone without like payment.
Sure. So you just have a stack of paper that says from the desk of Master Healer Palia.
Yes.
So you're just taking notes on now.
And she's gonna kind of like take off like the first 2 pages or whatever, which has her notes on, and she's gonna try and like bind it into like a book type format. Like she's gonna take some like thread and just like sew it together down a seam.
All right.
I don't know how books work,
And he's
y'all.
picking up new skills.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna figure out how good this turns out. All right, let's
Book
see.
binding,
boy.
Hattie.
Uh,
You don't even
got a
have a
book
needle and
press?
thread.
Yeah. So, I mean, printing books is something that is done at Candlekeep. So it's not like you would be like completely lost in the weeds about how
Yeah,
to make a book.
He knows how books work. I just don't know how books work.
However, it seems book binding
Yes.
is a process. You have to like press all the books together. You have to put out the glue. You have to stitch it with like serious thread, like linen thread, and then you have to like put it in a book press with a cover and everything, and then more glue. Point being, it seems like something that Hattie would not have the patience to do.
What I mean is Hattie's folding what I assume is like A4 paper in 2. And then she's getting a needle and thread and like sewing down the middle to like
just,
bind
like,
it together.
Okay.
Like with the cover, not like
There's
just, like,
no
binding
cover.
it with
There
the
is
cover.
no
There's
cover. It's just like sewed together bits of paper
Okay.
in kind of a book format.
Yeah. So what I want to know is, does Hattie have literally any tool proficiencies? And like calligrapher's tools. Like,
Question: does Hattie know what she's doing?
Answer: no.
feel like that's a fair question to ask, right?
Yeah. The answer is, can the answer
Is
just
Hanny-
winging it?
Is Hanny capable of literally anything? Just anything at all.
That,
Well,
yeah.
have a look at your tool proficiency. See
She
what you
has
can do.
proficiency in cook's tools and tinkerer's tools and vehicles, specifically land.
Okay. Yeah, Tinker's tools aren't exactly what you're doing right now. But I will let you use those. So,
Wonderful.
for these Tinker tools, you can roll me at advantage. We're going to call this a flat dexterity,
Just flat dexterity. Ooh,
Yep.
yeah, fun.
which you're pretty good at.
Well, the first one was a 23 and the second one was a 9, so 23.
23. Okay. Yeah, so you can reasonably stitch this together. Without like the glue or anything, you can't without like actual book supplies, right, which you don't just have on you. You can't necessarily like solidify this, but you can stitch it together and be reasonably sure that these pages are going to hold to each other.
Yeah. And I am going to write down the story of how the group of us got from the bridge when we had the nightmares, from that moment, like just from walking across it, not going to mention dropping the rock, but just saying we were crossing the bridge in wherever that town was.
The Borskier Bridge, yeah.
Borskier Bridge.
Yeah.
From that moment to now. And explaining like the entire process. Like not like I went to the library, just like we went to Waterdeep. We used our skill to like kind of emulating partially like journals she's read and also like fantasy, like I am the hero of this story. Like it's somewhere in between where like the truth is still in it, but she misses out some things which are like unimportant, like how she left books in a bathroom in Waterdeep.
Okay, sure.
A cupboard, sorry, not a bathroom. Was it a bathroom? I don't remember.
A cupboard in a bathroom, yeah. So you like have like we went to Waterdeep and we went for drinks at the Yawning Portal, the storied tavern, and like you kind of like paint it in broad strokes that make you sound great. Basically.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Just all of that story, and then leave it as to kind of how it will be summarized, like the ending of the story. Like what she's looking to make is a story or a book that is so incredibly unique that when they get to Candlekeep, she can get everyone into Candlekeep without having to give away the full journal.
Got you. Okay, I see what you're up to then. Okay. You're trying to make a Candlekeep worthy book.
By hand. Yeah, on the fly.
By hand on the fly. Okay.
Do you mean my life?
Hold on. I gotta make a note here that you're trying to do this.
He's making a notebook akin to like those tiny little playbooks that kids have that hang off on the like bollards of prams.
Yeah.
It's just there to blow in the wind.
Yeah, no, she's like, you know the books you used to make at school for like projects and stuff where like you like make your own notebooks and it was just like A4 pieces of paper like folded into
two badly held staples.
Yeah. That's what she's trying like that's what she's actually doing right now. And just for the DM's reference, this is gonna happen a few times. Like she's gonna
No, I get you. Like trust me, if you try to turn this in, you're not getting it. Like
fuck. Okay.
No. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm saying that you're gonna have to so you're gonna have to find a cover for it. You're going to have to like bind it properly. You're going to have to honestly, it's a good rough draft, but you're probably gonna have to find paper that doesn't say from the desk of Master Palia at the top of it.
But it's evidence that it's true.
It's evidence that it's true, and you can use it as inserts, or panels in the book, but you are gonna have to have like actual parchment page. We'll figure it out. I will start coming up with a list of things you'll need to make this work, and we'll figure out how to make it work.
And is there like a bookbinding place near Candlekeep?
There's one in the House of the Binder makes copies of books and like actually presses them and sends them. But that's inside of Candlekeep.
Yeah. So
There's-
what Hattie... Okay, so in theory, what Hattie... Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. So what
fine.
Hattie could do is like write all these rough drafts, get into Candlekeep one time with one that's already done, get more of them like printed and pressed or whatever, and then take them out of Candlekeep and use them as entry every time she goes in.
Well,
Yes.
no, you can't do that.
Fuck.
Well, Hattie can get in and out, right? She
Yeah,
doesn't.
I mean, but with my friends.
Right, but Candlekeep only accepts one copy. I mean, we'll get into the weeds of this whenever you get closer, but Candlekeep only accepts a single copy of a book. However, I will say this, and then we'll see what everybody else is doing. But one thing that you do know is that Arcanum, your hometown, is known for printing books. It is one of the things that they're known for. Whenever they started building a library, bookbinders moved in, paper millers moved in, like all of the supplies that you need to really like solidify a book, you can find in your hometown.
Okay. Noted. And the other thing that she's going to do when she's finished kind of making a rough draft, she is going to sit down, like put all of her stuff away, put it in the bag. I just knocked my mic, I'm so sorry. She's going to sit down and she's going to meditate and focus on Orgma again.
Okay. Are you meditating and focusing on Ogma as Hattie's moment of like just trying to like center herself, or is Hattie actually trying to get something out of this?
Hattie is actually trying to get something out of this.
Okay.
Name me one time Hattie has wanted peace.
I don't know. Maybe Hattie's like trying to do a new thing, just like testing out meditation and see how that worked for her. So in that case, go ahead and first of all, what are you trying to get out of this experience, Hattie?
She kind of wants to know about like who she is.
Okay.
And like how she ended up in, not like how she ended up in this situation, but why she ended up in this situation. Like if there's a reason, or if it's just like I'm aware this might be the wrong god to be praying to about this kind of stuff.
No,
but like
my question then is it, whenever you say how she ended up in this situation, do you mean this situation like traveling with this group of people, or do you mean this situation like her life situation, like how she ended up in the orphanage and then ended up at Candlekeep, and like which specific thing is she trying to figure out about herself?
She's aware that this group of people is rare, that like this kind of stuff that we're dealing with at this kind of consistency and level isn't normal for just like a group of people traveling together. So she wants to know why she's in this group, and if there's like a reason for all this happening, or if it's just kind of, if it's fated or if it's coincidence, if she's meant to be here, or if this is just like, oh, you stumbled upon a diamond, or oh, someone put a diamond in my way.
Okay.
That's what she wants to know.
Okay. In that case, I imagine that Hattie makes a nest whenever she does this. Like, takes all the sheets and blankets, makes a nest, sits down on the bed, centers. thinks about whatever part of the Seven Scrolls of Ogma that she can remember.
Just vaguely thought of.
Yeah, vaguely thought about it. But what Hattie really focused on is this idea of ideation, like that, like an idea is what sparked. That's like the part of the Ogma Dogma.
Yeah.
The Ogma Dogma. I love that. The Ogma Dogma that you really latched onto is the ideation of it. So, go ahead and roll me a religion check, Hattie.
Oh, my intelligence needs to be more than +0. That's a 7.
Oh
A
no.
7? Okay. Let me.
I imagine when
check.
Hattie focuses, she just squeezes really hard.
Okay.
She's like a small kid making a wish after blowing out candles.
Yeah, just
I'm gonna tell you, this is still possible for you. Okay. You need to roll a 19 or a 20 on your dice to get a response.
Ooh, I don't
Manifest
like
it.
that at all.
manifest it. It
So-
will happen.
You have a +6, so you need to beat a 25. Meet or beat a 25.
What am I rolling, sorry?
You are rolling insight. So you have a +6. That means you need to roll a 19 or a 20.
I rolled in total 20?
Sadly,
No.
not enough.
Damn it.
So you're not sure if maybe it's because last time you had a very specific question that you wanted to ask. Maybe it's because, what you were asking about was like on the grand scale of the world, a larger thing going on. Like you don't know what it was, but this time you feel peaceful. You feel centered in a way that meditation helps people to do, but you don't get that fresh memory, idea, thought in your head like you did last time. But maybe it's something you just gotta chew on more, Maybe the first time was beginner's luck. You don't know. But it's not something necessarily to be discouraged by. It's just something that's going to take some practice and mastery.
Yeah. Okay.
No one gets to become a Reina level cleric overnight, unfortunately.
That is true, especially with an intelligence of +0.
At least you tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
these
that's then Hattie's gonna probably go find food or something.
Okay. Now,
Contemplate her existence.
uh,
The normal.
the last quick thing I want to do before we send to break and then we come back together and see if we can get the group back together again.
No luck, but we'll give it a go.
Kaya, I just want to know if you have any response that you want to send. So you guys left pretty much right after you finished shopping with City. This time, whenever you get a message back from Snipe, the sending response is a lot quicker than what you've been used to. It's just probably close to noon by the time you actually get a message response from Snipe. And there's an agreement to meet you. There's an explanation of our taxes, at least somewhat. You do remember playing dice with a group of elves in the forest.
Yeah, I won 50 gold off them.
You did. You won platinum off of them.
Oh yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Kaya, yeah.
Where is that platinum now? Who knows?
It's Raina. Money magnet.
Oh Oh wait, Kaya can't reply to them without using another spell slot.
Right. So right now you are just traveling along the road. You with Basil. Seymour is just kind of walking with Finnabris beside you right now. You're kind of going at a leisurely pace because you don't know what the time scale is for them. You just know that in 2 days you got to meet somewhere in the middle. That's all.
Yeah, Kaya's not gonna waste a spell on another sending quite yet, but she will keep all that in mind, and she'll tell Seymour, and probably get Seymour on the horse so they can go a little faster.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Now, as you travel south from Trio, the land off to the east slopes down and away, forming a ridge on the left of the road, a rise that kind of goes up above it, like a hill. Across the expanse beneath you, you see barns, pens, fields, and cottages of various homesteaders. City did mention that more folk live outside of Triel than in it. So this must be those people that she was talking about. And in the far distance, almost vanishing over the horizon, you see a line of treetops, designating the border of what must be the reaching wood. As the day wears on, the quaint, sturdy farmsteads become sparser. They weren't close to begin with, but now there's a significant gap, perhaps half an hour to an hour, between the last one that you see and the next. Later in the day, as the afternoon wanes into evening, you spot it. The dark, charred wood of what must have been a barn catches your eye first. The field is ravaged. The smell of smoldering wheat and something else is in the air. The low stone cottage remains standing, but the old door swings uselessly on a single hinge. We'll see what you do when we come back from a break.
Alright.
Ha! Break time! Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back in
Slowly
10 to
coming back
15
together.
minutes.
Oh,
We're getting
You have no
there.
right being that good.
yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to After the Break. Just before we left, we were with Kaya and Seymour on the road to Elturel. But before that, we were with Halra, figuring out what she's been up to while she's been away. She went to the Riverside Chapel, a former haunt of Tamil Trent, paladin of Elturel who went missing at the Borskir Bridge. And while there, Halra started composing notes to figure out exactly what it is that is going on in Elturel, at least as best she could with what she already knew. While there, she found a letter from Tamil Trent hidden behind the hand resolute at the front of the chapel, which accused Thavius Krieg of her death, and also that anyone after her should beware, because he has been making deals with someone, and she doesn't know who, but someone with a brimstone voice. So, Halra, you said that you were going to spend the night here, which means that you are going to be here at the chapel while everyone's back in Skirnabel sleeping at the Bloody Oak. What else is it that you would like to do at Riverside Chapel before you head back to meet everybody at Skirnabel?
So I'm just going to do a little bit of tidying up as respect for Tom.
Sure.
So just the inside, like just dust off a little few things, put the benches right, just sort of clean the area. But and then afterwards, she's going to next to the symbol of Torm, the outstretched hand.
Mm-hmm.
She's just going to sit down cross-legged with her palms up in a similar position, almost as if like mercy hands.
Sure.
And she's just going to say it out. She's going to say it out loud, but she's basically going to ask Torm for help and guidance.
Okay. As you sit there and pray to Torm, Halra, I would like you to roll me a religion check. And you can do it at advantage because you're in the chapel.
As a paladin, it would help to have religion, except mine's plus 0.
Well,
That is a 17.
17, okay. So 17. Okay. So, go ahead and roll me an insight check. You are trying to beat a... you're trying to beat a 15.
Okay. I got 15 exactly.
Oh my god. That is perfect. Okay.
I rolled a 13 and I have plus 2.
Excellent. Okay. So, as you sit there, your palm out, what is it that you're asking Torm for help and guidance in this?
Yeah.
How do you phrase it? Do you have a particular way of asking, or you're just being very direct about it? You're just saying, Torm, I need some assistance. I guess what I'm asking is it a very practical sort of ask, or is it like do you try to put the trappings on? Like Torm, loyal fury, hallowed be thy. I don't actually want to say that because then it's actually going to sound like the Lord's Prayer, and I'm trying not to be sacrilegious right now. However,
no. So because she's got all these thoughts basically racing through her head, she's not thinking straight. At the moment, the things on her mind is trying to stop Krieg, but she's not sure how to do it because in her mind, she partially wants revenge or to avenge Tamal.
sure.
But knowing how Tom works, there's normally another way to deal with it. So she's really asking assistance. So she's mostly being direct, and she's just like, I don't know what to do. And she's basically saying her feelings out loud, like, I don't know what to do. I'm at an impasse with my feelings, and I don't know which path is right, sort of thing.
As you sit there talking through your feelings, you lay your right hand out on your crossed legs in the symbol of the hand resolute. And with your eyes closed, talking through all of this, you feel another hand touch yours. And you feel an electricity shoot up your arm. It is not perhaps the response that you are looking for, the guidance that you're looking for in terms of which path is the correct path here, whether it is the path of vengeance or the path of guardianship, as it were.
Yeah.
But you do feel settling somewhere over your heart a feeling that when the moment comes, and you will have to make that choice and make a decision, that a piece of Torm's power will help you with whatever decision that you make. Halra, you now have a charm of heroism. So this is going to act just like a potion of heroism. When you want to use it, you can activate it as an action. And then for 1 hour, you will be under the effect of a bless spell, no concentration required.
Okay.
And I'll make a note, and I'll see if I can add it to the character sheet. It might just have to appear as a potion of heroism on your character sheet.
I was going to add just the potion of heroism, honestly.
Yeah, you can just go ahead and add it. Okay. And that is you feel that is the response that you're going to get, at least for now, from this place. But with that response, you feel empowered. That whatever choice you make, someone is backing your play. And you pass the night here at the Riverside Chapel. And then as the dawn comes up in the east, you settle your bags again on Atreyu, and you head back to see what the others have been up to in Skirnavel.
Yeah.
Back in Skirnavel, you all, what is it that you want to do with your day? Obviously, you have a shopping list now that Kaya has sent to you. So, Snipe, you've met up with the others. You've basically been like, here's what we got to get. This is what it is. Let's say that the scene is you and Hattie and Reyna are gathered at a table down in the tap room of the Bloody Oak. So you have your list of things. Reyna eventually, after sorting through some stuff after that encounter with Ranger Monkshood, has come down to meet you. And Hattie, for her part, after doing what it is that she was up to this morning, trying to compose a book, has also come down and joined you guys. And now it's a question of what to do with the day. You're waiting for Halra to return. Ardia said that she should be back either this morning or at the latest by the evening. You have Master Palia that you maybe want to look into, although Hattie hasn't got a chance to tell you guys yet how her encounter with him went and what state he was left in. And you can try to find wherever Ardius is, because Ardius currently isn't in the tap room, and whenever you knocked on his door, he wasn't there either. So he's somewhere around town. What do you guys want to do? Or something else, if you guys think of something else that I left out there that you guys want to be up to. But what's up?
Morning.
Morning.
I
You look
So-
surprisingly happy, Hattie.
Yeah, I have plans. For
Nice.
like the future, not right now, but like, yeah.
Nice.
How did checking up on the Master Healer go yesterday? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's good. Only a minor breakdown, I think. I think we've only slightly broken his perception of his organization, religion, the people closest to him, and those within his charge. Only slightly.
We didn't break anything.
Yeah, but we didn't fix anything. So, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Vibes. It's fine. I use brilliant metaphors.
I would guess so.
It was wonderful, truly.
And how's Arthur been? I've not seen him all day, and I guess he's still with you.
Yeah, he's fine. And Hattie just kind of picks him up from the side. She throws him on the table.
Yeah, he just lands splayed-legged, then he pops back up, chitters at you like for unceremoniously dumping him on the table, and then he just
With
trots
scratch
up
on the
over to
chin.
Snipe.
We're friends, see? It's all
I've
good.
not, yeah, I've not fully eaten my breakfast, so I'm just going to push the plate forward towards him, just like, tuck in.
Just destroyed.
His hat is blended in with the egg.
So the Master Healer is doing fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should have checked up on more. He was a bit shaken. I didn't tell you guys last time, but I think he knows where Wrist went, or at least he's got an idea of what she's planning to do.
And that is?
She's gonna go after, what was his name? The overseer? What was his name?
Fabius Creek.
Yeah, him.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. So he thinks that she's going after him. Okay.
Well, did I tell you guys? I got like a message from Salvira Savras, who is now High Reader?
This is in
What's her
Candlekeep.
title?
She
DM?
is
What's her title?
she is now so you were told by Elithan that she is now a master reader.
Mastery, not High Reader.
Yeah.
There's lots of different titles. I get confused.
Well, so basically what that functionally means, sorry to interrupt, but functionally what that means is she skipped a couple steps, and so master reader means that she's part of the Avowed now, and she
Okay.
skipped a couple steps to get there, because normally you have to go seeker
Work your way up the
scribe
ranks.
and then master reader.
Yeah.
And she kind of skipped over scribe
Okay.
to go straight to master reader.
So yeah, Savira Savras, Master Reader at Candlekeep, was like, yo, if you come across Thaddeus Creed, don't trust him. He's a danger. So if he dies, it's not really a problem.
That's
You know?
two people telling us not to trust him.
Who was the second?
Laura.
Who? Sorry, I can't speak
Halra.
English. Halra. Yeah. Yeah, he's yeah, I have no more information on him. But I assume his death wouldn't, oh no,
Well, kind of, because Moore and the Master Healer are concerned about it, so we got to be a bit careful about what side we're going to present ourselves on.
Oof, what a team though. Master Reader, Master High Reader, Master Healer. What a team.
Almost.
I cannot get those titles straight in my head.
That's fine. I have to have them all written down, so you're fine.
Brilliant.
Did
That
you
would be
get
a
anything
cool-
else, Snipe, or not?
Well, from Kaya?
Yeah.
Only that they're going to try and meet us halfway. I think they probably got a bit bored of waiting a day in Trio.
Yeah, that's fair. A day can feel like a very long time sometimes.
Sometimes it does, yeah.
I said we could just, I don't know, skip time, just cut to the chase, go find this stuff. Hopefully bump into Halra on the way back if she plans to come back.
What if we just leave Halra? Like, you know.
She's technically already away, so it's her decision whether she comes back or not.
And like we said, we'd travel with her to Elturel, but at the same time, like, she doesn't have a stove, so
You invited her, Hattie.
that's a fair point. We were great friends, and then she just left without telling me, so like I'm having second thoughts.
Well, we need to buy these ingredients, and I
What
also
ingredients? What did I miss?
I also still need to buy a saddle and things for the horse. So let's
Oh yeah, the
get
horse.
to that, and let's.
Is it a problem that I ate the other horse? I mean, it was dead anyway.
As long as you just don't tell the others, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Didn't we tell them?
Mm,
Wasn't it mentioned at some point?
I think we mentioned they died. But
Yeah.
but we never mentioned your impromptu meal of them.
Look,
Yeah.
I was hungry. There was nothing else around. What was I meant to do?
I suggested it.
My tummy was rumbling. Exactly. It was Raina's idea.
Could have just gone for
I
any
don't-
edible berries that are in the area,
My
but I
tummy
guess...
was rumbling for some meat.
Stuff happens.
Exactly.
Let's get everything we need, and let's get going.
Do you guys know a way of contacting people long distance easily without like taking up energy for other things?
If we did, we wouldn't be constantly sending messages, so I guess the answer is no.
Letters, but those take a long time.
Those will take a long time.
Uh,
Roughly the speed of a horse.
yeah, roughly the speed of the horse. That's about how long letters usually take. As you all get up to leave, so that you can go get your herbs, you head out. Do you have any idea of where you want to go? So,
I'm curious. Is on the eastern field, because this is that's where the last spice merchants were, who were mixing with the murders. But I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they already left or if they're still there.
wouldn't hurt to check. And you definitely think that Spice Merchant... So actually, because we didn't actually do this, Raina, if you want, you can roll a nature or a medicine check. Or even an arcana check if you feel like that's a skill that would be useful to you here. On the list that Snipe has of herbs.
It's all
These
plus
herbs and
4. Does it
spices.
make a difference on which I choose, or is it just...
I mean, anything is going to help you figure out
Nature will tell
what
you
is
where
most
to find
likely.
them, and Arcana will tell you what they do. So
Let's roll with a nature check.
Mm-hmm.
17.
17. Yeah, so most of these herbs you recognize as rarer herbs. So on the occasions that you have been out traveling in the world, you have occasionally, whenever staying with other elves in places like the High Forest, you have helped them collect herbs. Not these specifically, but herbs like them. They tend to be rarer and hard to find, and by extension more expensive whenever you try to buy them in a market. If this caravan that was caught up in the murders is a spice trader, they are likely to have some, if not all of them. And some of them, have medicinal uses. You're not super familiar with what they are, but there could be some of these at the cloister as well, which maybe you can negotiate for a discount.
Okay. Why don't we go check if those people from the murders are still on the eastern field? They might have some of these ingredients.
yeah, good start.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm all round the back.
I'm just happy to be here, guys.
I'm gonna get up and start walking towards the eastern fields.
I
Yeah.
follow.
Wait up. Me and Arthur have small legs.
You're a monk, Hattie.
Yeah, you can speed walk.
And do you
You are
think
ve-
Arthur
you
looks
are
like a
very
monk
fast.
to you?
You can
Look,
pick 'em
if
up.
I walk
Yeah.
too fast, these trousers are gonna rip, okay?
That's true.
Yeah, that's fair. They are very tight matador pants.
Fine.
Oh no.
Fine. We trot to the eastern fields at a very slow pace.
Hattie, since you've been there before, do you want to lead the way?
No.
You got
No.
lost last
Okay.
time.
In that case, whoever wants to lead the way into the field, you can roll me a flat wisdom check to just navigate your way to the Estragon League.
Shall I do it, or do you want to do it, Snipe?
Let's see what happens.
Okay, go ahead, Snipe.
You can help. Yeah, I'll let you have
Yeah.
advantage. You guys are helping each other.
Yeah, you get advantage, Snipe. Don't worry.
It's a mighty 8.
Oh,
Okay,
Love
advantage
that.
is a good idea. You should probably roll
Yeah.
that again.
you can roll again.
No, I rolled twice. The first one was a 3.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Let's see, an
Oops.
8.
My advantage was 8.
Oops.
Into the
Go
river
ahead.
we go.
Okay.
With an 8, go ahead and roll me a d8.
Oh lord. We're at 8.
8.
Fuck.
We go north.
It is going to take you guys
Oh no.
a solid
8 hours.
80 minutes
Fucking hell.
to find this place. An hour and 20 minutes later, you finally make your way to the Estragon Link. To be fair, it's early in the morning, so a lot of people are leaving, a lot of people are coming back. And honestly, the Estragon Link isn't where they were parked the night before. You actually end up finding them down by the river. They are loading a lot of their goods onto large ferry boats. And they're like pulling the cars. Some of them are like disassembling the carts, like pulling off the wheels so that they could just like place the bottom of the cart onto the boats. They're packing up to ship downriver. So you managed to actually catch them right on time if you're going to get stuff off them.
Even though
Right
it
on
took us
time
80
for an hour and
minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah. Right on time. An hour and 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
I told you we'd waste time. Even
Yeah.
though we're on track to going back together, we'd find a way.
Yeah.
And you see that there is a gentleman who appears to be directing traffic, as it were, making sure that everyone has all of their stuff as they're loading it onto like 3 or 4 of these boats. And there are boatmen nearby, and he appears to be negotiating with them and going back and forth.
I will walk up to the one who seems like leading everything and kind of tap him on the shoulder like, hi. No.
Oh, hi. How can I help you? Yeah, you could just put those over there. Hi.
Good
Hi.
day. Hi. It looks like you're packing up, but I'm interested in buying a few herbs if that's possible. Or is it a bit too busy right now?
What sort of herbs are you looking for?
They
We have some that we haven't packed up yet.
They are a bit of a rare kind, and I will list out my list. I don't know them, but
Okay. Okay, yeah, we have some of these. We can definitely get you that one. Yeah, we have like 4 of these, I think. Let me check. Do you guys mind? Actually, how about you just walk with me and we'll see what's available to us.
of course.
He'll walk through the crates. Okay. Okay, so this one is in this box over here. This one is out here. This one should be here. Okay, I can get you 3 of these. It looks like this one we already loaded up onto the ships.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. We're kind of in the middle of a thing. We gotta get, if we're gonna get to Baldur's Gate with any kind of time, we have to get everything packed up.
I get it. Yeah, I completely understand it. What would it cost to buy these 3 of your hands?
What a good question. Hey Lars. Hey, yeah. And a lanky gentleman walks up and he says, "What's up, boss?" He says, "These folks want to buy these herbs. I know that they're part of your cart. What would you normally sell these for? It's like, how much do you need?
I don't know, to be honest. Me as a player doesn't know, but
Were there any, were there
How
any
many
like,
we
distinct
need?
measurements?
yeah.
Well, okay, so you have an idea of what this is for. You could roll me an Arcana check if you like.
Sure. Oh my, that's a mighty 7.
Oh no. Oh no.
Better to have more than to have not enough.
Yeah.
A fistful.
Give us.
I would
I
say
think,
I would say that if you were going to take a guess, you would buy at least a bag. But if you don't know, it's better to buy 3 to 5 bags.
Jesus.
Each?
Yeah, each.
Oh my
You don't
God.
know. I mean, like you've never tried this
How big
magic.
are the
Like
bags? Are they like bags or are they
Are
Are
like,
they
like
tea
bags?
bags? Are they tea bags or are they backpacks?
they're like flour sacks full
Oh,
of
okay.
herb. So
Okay.
like you've never tried a reincarnation before. You don't know how much is required. So it's probably better to get more and then just have some spare herbs that you might use again later for something. Or, you know, like maybe hopefully maybe get whoever is performing this thing to like buy them from you or something. I don't know. But to like show up and not have enough is worse for Snipe than
Yeah.
to have too much.
yeah. 4 bags each.
4 bags each. Let's call that. Let's see. We usually sell about 20 bags. So it's 250.
250. Sure. And then she will get the group pouch, and she doesn't know anything about herbs, so she's like, okay, 250 sounds about right. Sure. She knows they're rare herbs, but sure.
Sure. Okay.
Sure.
So you hand this man 250 gold, and he'll pry open the 3 crates, and he will give you basically 4 flour sack type bags of each of these herbs. So you now have 12 bags of herbs.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
lord.
Hattie, you want to carry these?
You need some weights to do some challenges. Do some
Well,
lifting.
you can put them in the handy haversack, and
Yeah.
that'll
Just kidding.
I
With
was just
Hattie.
playing with
Just messing
Arthur.
with Hattie.
Why have we got so many herbs?
Yeah.
Just
Better to
Go
have
with
many
it.
than none.
yeah.
I mean, I guess, but like, I'm
good
not
for cooking.
carrying them. Really? That one's a bit acidic on the palate.
Look, pleasure doing business with you. Please don't think me too rude, but we do have to keep packing up so that we
Of
can
course, I
make
understand.
good
Do you
time.
have any
Thank you.
flowers?
Hattie, let these people pack for now, because they're in a bit of a hurry rush.
It was a question.
Yeah, I know.
And there's the answer.
No.
Hey,
uh,
fine. Me and Arthur will go play. Jeez.
there are
We'll
wildflowers
find
down
some
on the
flowers.
riverbank, Hattie, so
Yeah,
you can
well.
absolutely just start picking flowers.
Yeah.
It's like, fine, I'll find my own.
Yeah, just like putting them in the hair.
Sure. And you go about your business while you put flowers in your hair. They finish the transaction. You have 3 of the 7 herbs you need. So it's just a matter of finding the other 4. Basically, you can try to go through the other fields and see if you can snag them from other merchants, or you can see what is you can see if you can pick any of them up at the cloister.
Should we scavenge for anything that could be less than 250, or just throw in the bucket? and ask the cloister?
Do you want to try to scavenge? I mean, if you guys want to, I would happily let you wander off into the fields around Skirnabel. You guys can make some nature checks. You can make some investigation checks. You can try to find substitute herbs if you want.
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
And
Let's
Dave
set
feels
Arthur
Delightful.
ahead to see if he can lead us to
Let's have
anything.
some fun with
that
this.
will.
Delightful. Okay.
No,
So-
wait, Raina, there's a friend who might help us. She
Who?
has a chicken.
Oh, you're talking about the coffee
I
ladies?
Yeah, the coffee lady. She might be able to help. She knows everything. She might not have them, but she will know who has them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's
If you
go.
wanna- Okay, sure.
okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Very caught off guard here, but sure, let's go.
Thank God Kaya and Simo don't know how long we are. There's no way of telling about where the heck we are at this point.
Amazing. So glad that this is turning out the way it is. So yeah, you guys can go and
I'm trying to make it easier for us to find these
I'm just
things.
thinking,
By the
like,
end
no,
of this
I
session-
love this plan to go talk to
this
Alice
Kaya was
Garbanzo.
crying as well, so Kaya could quite literally just check up on us to see how awful we
By the
are.
end of this session, Dave is going to come back, and we will not have made.
No.
Yeah,
Look,
that'd be
all we
great.
have to do is get the herbs, get a saddle, get on the horses, and go. That's all we have to do.
And getting the herbs going to take 3 hours?
Probably. It's already took us
No.
1 hour and
It's
20
taken
minutes to get to
it's
the
taken us
fucking
18
fields.
minutes.
Okay, so you guys make your way over to the cafe where Alice Garbanzo is usually sitting at, and she is there. But on the way, you all pass by the Cloister of the Tear, because that's very close to the cafe where she sits. As you pass by, you see Artius currently headed out of the Cloister of the Tear with the person that Hattie you met the other day, Sasha DeRoth. In addition to that, you also see Halra riding back into town. It looks like she is headed for the stables. So if you remember, the cafe kind of sits at like a 5-way street junction. So like all of these things are just kind of converging as you all head off to Alice Garbanzo.
Hattie's gonna grab both Snipes, like, trouser leg, I guess, and also like a bit of armor off Raina and just like shake them like, guys, oh, everything is shaking.
That's exactly how we felt.
Yeah.
Ah,
Hattie.
Earthquake.
guys, everything
Yes.
is colliding.
Yes.
Look, pretty lady, also Halra and Artisan.
Oh,
How
Oh.
convenient.
that's okay.
Hattie's gonna run up to Artius and the pretty lady. Hi,
Hello, Hattie. How are you today?
I am alright. How are you today? You were gone.
I
You
was.
abandoned us.
I
You
didn't
didn't
abandon
leave a
you.
note.
I didn't leave a note.
You could have been dead.
Well, the same goes both ways, Hattie. You could also have been dead,
not dead.
and I wouldn't have
knew
known.
that I wasn't dead because I checked in with myself.
Okay.
However, you did not check in with me, therefore you could have been dead. Hi, pretty lady.
Sasha, this is a recent acquaintance of mine,
I am
Hattie.
Artisan's bestest friend.
Yeah, Hattie Curtis. She is one of the Avowed of Candlekeep. And Hattie, allow me to formally introduce you to Sasha DeRoth. She is the High Chancellor for the Merchants Council of Skirnabel.
Oh, fancy. Hi, Sasha.
Hello there,
These
Hattie.
are my friends Raina and Snipe.
Good day.
And
my
also,
name. What?
Halra. How?
Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. Sasha DeRoth.
Hello, hi.
Halra. Halra.
It's just Hattie disappearing off.
Yeah, Hera runs off to a different thing. Yeah, Hera, you're just trying to get Atreyu back to the stable, and just a mass of red hair comes running up. Hera, 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 Hera! It just gets louder and louder, and then Hattie just like stops dead in front of your horse, proud as ever.
I immediately try to stop Atreyu. I'm like, what the fuck, Hattie?
Come meet the new friends. Ignore the horse. It's fine. Let's go.
Like, is Hattie, it's like, wait, is Hattie looking at Halra? She literally looks like she's like covered in like a bit of dirt, dust. Like, she's
Very, very high up on the horse. And
Hattie's
Hattie's just
not,
like,
you're
hi.
a long way away. I'm not taking any of that in.
Did you get the
Oh.
extender
Okay.
stick out and poke her? Just like, hell.
Yeah, and Halra, in return, you see that Hattie is wearing a completely different outfit from the last time you saw her. She is wearing bright yellow matador pants. She is wearing a bright yellow jacket with a tailcoat on it, and it's all like paisley design down it. And on her shoulder, currently sitting on her shoulder, is Arthur, the stoat, who is wearing a large bolero hat with little dangly bits hanging down from the brim.
What is this
Okay.
character that I'm playing? What the fuck is going on?
And
It's
no
you.
shoes.
Oh, and no shoes. So Hera looks at Hattie, and the only thing she says is, "Oh, you've got rid of your buttons."
Oh no, they're still here. They're just not here.
Answer. That's a fantastic answer. And if someone asks me for something I don't know, I'm just going to say, it is still here, but it's not here.
That's just the answer to everything. It's still here, but it's not
It's
here.
here, but it's not.
Yeah, as an order
That
of
was
business,
unexpected.
Hattie,
I need a minute.
Hattie, Artius definitely gave you back your gi and everything. Like he divested it back to you, and you put it in your backpack.
Like I said, it's here existentially. It's just not here within the present.
Okay.
Sure.
Hera dismounts Atreyu and says to Hattie, "Let me just take Atreyu back to the stable, and I will join you as soon as I'm done."
Okay, we're going to be talking to the chicken lady. Have fun.
Okay, bye, Hattie.
Bye, Halra. Have fun.
So what is it that you all are up to? Oh yeah, sorry. What is Halra doing?
Yeah, she's just going to take the horse to the stable and then make her way back to the group.
Okay.
But she's got like a sort of dark look to her face.
Gotcha. Okay. So what are you all up to this fine day? Says Artius.
I'm sitting in front of him, just like looking at us, just like, why did you put us? You placed us like chess pieces into this situation.
Well,
Oh yeah, Sasha de Roth. This is Reyna Veron. She is a traveling cleric, and this is Snipe. This is
That's
Snipe.
all you need to know.
that's yeah.
Where have you
Sounds
been,
about
Artius?
A pleasure,
Like,
a pleasure.
You just disappeared.
Well, I had to talk some stuff over with Sasha here, and then we were going to go see Master Healer Palia, but I guess he made some decisions about what he's going to do with his life last night. And, well, honestly, we were trying to talk him down. He is currently packing to go to Elturel.
Okay.
That's understandable.
Well,
Did he give you any reasoning why?
Well, it might not surprise you to know that yesterday's events are his reason why.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to, in his words, make sure that Healer Wrist doesn't do anything too rash.
In my defense, they were fine when I left.
No, Hattie, I don't think
You
that
happy?
I don't think that it's anything that we said to him last night. He just, I don't know. He's just very adamant that, well, look, I don't want to make any assumptions about his state of mind, but I think that perhaps he needs to find a channel for his emotions right now, yes? We put him in charge of taking care of whatever this problem is, and he feels that it is somehow his responsibility, although I have assured him that it is not his responsibility, that all that we really need to do is send a message to Elturel, give them a heads up and a warning, which I have already begun to compose, but he will not be talked down. In fact...
I mean, if Thaddeus Creed died, what's the worst that would happen?
Sasha laughs at this. And she says, honestly, or what people would do? What would happen or how would people react? Which do you want the answer to?
Well, my main point being is that I've heard from two high-leveled officials of two different organizations that maybe he isn't the nicest, kindest, or most understanding of sentient beings that walk the earth.
He's a politician. Of course he is not those things.
Great, so he does.
Well, look, I cannot say that I would be... I am
People
not
will riot.
particularly concerned about Thavius Krieg and his health. I think that he can look after himself. But me, I know that Skirnabel will continue running no matter what happens in Elturel. But the people of Elturel, I think that they will have a much more difficult time if they find that their leader is suddenly murdered in cold blood by a random person.
What if he's
Generally, people don't take well to
in
that.
warm blood in public?
That is a strange question, and if I'm being honest with you, I have no idea how people would react, but I suspect that there would be consequences to being, well, murdered.
The streets will be
It's
dangerous
held
to
with the
walk
group
on.
at this point now.
Yeah, you can have walked up to the group. Yeah, I don't think that you would really know Sasha. She's younger than you, and she's a human. But Ardius will happily introduce you. Sasha, this is Captain Halra. She's a Paladin of Torm, Captain of Elturel and Elturgard. Captain Halra, I'm not sure if you're familiar, Sasha DeRoth. She's the High Chancellor of the Merchants Council here in Skirnabo. A pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. Pleasure to meet you too. I couldn't help, obviously, listening to the conversation about Thavius Krieg. And, well, this might not be the best place to talk about it fully, but...
We were gonna go talk to the chicken lady. We could go do it over there.
Our planning was to get some
Look.
herbs because we got a shopping list from our friends, and we are planning to get some herbs, and we got 3 of them already, and we need 4 more. So that
Also,
was our original
we
planning.
solved the murdering issue. I think maybe we should tell you that, Halra.
Yeah, also I had to I had to leave. I needed to think some things through, and I did. And the answers I got are not the best. All I can say is under no circumstances can Krieg be trusted at all.
Well, I said that before.
Well-
Why do people just have to keep confirming what I say? Just accept that I'm a genius and we can move on.
Look, Halra, I'm sure that what you have to say is, well, I would like to hear what it is that what conclusions it is that you came to, but I would suggest to all of you, looking specifically at Hattie, that perhaps a busy intersection where anyone could be eyes and ears is not the best place to have an open and candid conversation about these things.
No.
Like I said earlier, Hattie, at the beginning of the tavern.
Yeah.
That's why I
Chicken
said
lady?
I won't say anything more than that.
Why don't we finish up our shopping list and meet in a place where we can talk about this?
Sure.
Because it needs to be discussed. It's a topic on the table, but it's not right here. This is not the moment.
Oh, and Halra, before you all head off, I'm gonna head off with Sasha. We still have some business we need to discuss. But before you head off, I just want to let you know, in case you want to say hello, Matron Serafina is supposed to arrive here later today. Master Palia said that she's going to be the one that he got to take over for him while he's gone. Oh, right, you didn't hear about this. He's kind of gone off the deep end. We can talk about it later. But
Okay.
he's going through some stuff, but Matron Serafina will be here later. So, I'll leave you guys to it though. It sounds like you have a lot to do. If you need anything, send me. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and I'll
bye.
be at the Merchants Council. It's across from the guard barracks if you need me. And so
Okay.
walk
Okay.
off with Sasha.
Good to know.
Bye, Sasha. You're really pretty.
You have a crush, Hattie?
No.
Just the no from Hattie.
Yeah,
Okay,
Halra,
chicken lady.
you didn't hear this. You didn't hear this description the other day. Sasha DeRoth is like the medieval equivalent of a leather-clad biker. That's her entire vibe.
I like that vibe.
It's
Now
a good
I see
vibe.
why Hattie does.
You see why Hattie has a crush?
I don't have a crush.
Chicken lady.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, chicken lady. Yes, go to chicken lady. Walk
I
over
was
to
just
the
confused at
cafe.
this point. You chicken lady.
Come and see.
We were running around trying to solve the mystery yesterday. We got some help from some locals, and apparently Chicken Lady was one of them.
Yeah.
Hey,
Alice.
Mrs. Alice.
Hey there, kid. What brings you back to Alice Garbanzo's table?
Many things.
Ooh, tell me more. I love a good bit of gossip.
Predominantly, we have been sent a very mysterious message, and we have been asked to collect herbs for a spell.
Ooh, you know I love me some spells. Don't I, Ingrid? That's right, I do. All right. Tell me more. What is it that you need?
We need these herbs, and I, as a player, do not know these herbs. However, Hattie will recite them with minor pronunciation issues.
Excellent. Ooh, sounds like you're cooking up some sort of healing magic. Oh,
Yeah.
Alice Garbanzo always knows. All right, well, I will tell you what, dear. I can get a hold of all 4 of these for you.
You can?
Yeah,
That's incredible.
I can. I know
You're
it is.
wonderful.
I am wonderful, but you're gonna have to do Alice Garbanzo a little bit of a favor.
Fuck, we're gonna be here forever.
You're gonna be for another
Yeah.
fucking 3 days.
How many?
Me and
okay.
Raina just like immediately step forward closer to make the yes
Yeah.
and no decision at this point.
My question is, if you get all these herbs, how much would you get? 'Cause we
How
need a
much would
specific
I
amount.
get?
Yeah.
Oh, no charge, hun, no charge. I love helping a friendly face. I just need you to hold on to something for me, that's all.
A chicken?
A proto-chicken. Isn't that right, Ingrid? And, Ingrid... And then, Alice reaches under the cloth that, Ingrid is sitting on, and she produces a porcelain egg. She's like, I just need you to hold on to it for me.
How long will it take to get the herbs?
Oh, I'll tell you what. You have a stroll about town for, let's say, about an hour. Meet me back here and I'll have them all for you, dear.
Can I have the egg?
Sure.
I
If you drop it, Hattie, I swear to God.
I'm gonna ask the cloister a few things. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Yeah, she'll absolutely hand over the egg, Hattie.
Just staring at her intently, just like, don't you fucking dare. Don't you, not in front of Alice Garbanzo, you wouldn't dare do this.
And I'm like, is there a care manual? Because I was once given an egg as part of a thing that the orphanage did to be like, don't have kids. And like, I smashed many of them. However, I knew one of the farmers down the road, so I just kept replacing them. But I was really bad at it.
I see. Well, I'll tell you what, kid. If it breaks...
I am an adult.
Well, comparatively. I'll tell you what, adult. If it breaks, all you have to do is cast a little bit of a mending spell on it.
I don't do the magics.
Oh. Do you know anyone who can?
Just kind of turns and looks up at Raina.
Raina went to go ask questions
Raina
at the
walks
cloister
off.
of the tier.
Yeah, Raina's gone
You look
elsewhere.
behind
It's
you.
just me.
Snape?
What are you looking at me for?
I could work something out.
I trust you could, dear. I trust you could. Don't worry, I'm not worried about it.
I am.
You should be.
No.
What is yeah, prototype? How exactly? What is this just a trust exercise, or is this just doing an old favor or something that will probably haunt us if we do something bad with it?
Let's just call it an odd favor, dear.
Okay.
Does
I
it
love the
feel
confusion and the
magic?
silence.
I'm just kind of glancing at Hattie, just like,
Now.
gonna use your hair as a nest for it, or how you
Now,
hold
now,
it,
now.
or...
Okay.
You all go take care of that egg and leave the herbs to Alice Garbanzo.
Okay.
So you do
In, like,
that.
in a pocket.
This is, can I just say, this is like the weirdest side quest we've done. All of the others are like, throw a rock off the bridge, or
I
you
mean,
know,
that was pretty weird.
Help this
I know,
It's all pretty
elfin
weird.
woman in the enclave.
They're all gargantuan side quests, so to just have hold this egg in this
Yeah.
perilous time.
Hold the egg.
Just keep a hold of
Oh,
it.
yeah. It's like the smallest side quest. Everything else, we split party, end up doing like 3 sessions in one day.
Does it feel magic? Does it have kind of the
Does it
essence of-
feel magic?
Do I feel magic?
A mysterious... Okay, hold on.
Can I
Ro-
vibe
roll-
check this porcelain?
Vibe check.
Roll me an
Vibe check,
Arcana
yes.
vibe check. Give me an Arcana vibe check.
On a vibe.
With my
Check.
plus 0. I rolled a natural 20.
Hattie,
I'm
Hattie,
checking an egg.
you were
Vibe
just...
check.
You were
Hold
just
it, a
given...
glorious aura, just
You were just given an egg by an old babushka lady who just sits at a cafe table all day with a chicken and just knows everybody's shit. And she just pulled out a porcelain egg from under a chicken and told you to hold on to it. That egg is magic as fuck.
Do I know kind of what
I
kind of...
love this.
You have no clue, but you know that this is some
magic.
weird ass magic shit.
this
Like,
magic is sick.
like there is no way that this isn't some like weird magical deal that you've just agreed to because you agreed to carry an egg. However, with that in mind, Raina, you have questions that you wanted to ask. So, what questions do you want to ask at the closer of the tier?
Well, she's basically gonna ask if there's also her the same herbs also there, because if Alice doesn't give like
Imagine
enough
you're gonna
herbs,
see
they at
Alice
least
in
have
the
a
background
backup.
sneaking round, just like yoink. Just like, oh, we did have the herbs, but they're just mysteriously gone.
Yeah. So, there is Healer Rayburn. I don't know if you ever actually met him, but he is there. He's kind of working the front desk currently.
The name I recognize the name from something.
It's Hattie's friend, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's Terrence Rayburn.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Terrence Rayburn. You've probably heard Hattie mention him. I don't know if you actually met him in person. However, he's the one working the front desk, and he will say, "How can I help you?"
Good day. I am looking for 4 particular herbs for a healing spell. I need a quite large quantity of them.
Yeah, sure. So there's like the window underneath the arch, and he's like, yes. Sometimes we act as a supplier. Can you tell me what sort of herbs that you need? And he pulls out like a very big book.
Rena will take out her notebook where she has written down the herbs, and she will show it to Terrence.
Ah, okay.
This particular these four. The other three I already bought at the Eastern Fields, but
Okay, let me see. So, normally we don't stock those in large quantities. They're used for very specific things, useful, but not usually in large quantities. So I can see we have those two in our inventory. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we have the other two in stock, but I can definitely sell you some of those two. How much do you need? You know that you have about 4 pounds of the other herbs.
Yeah. It's gonna sound weird. It's for a resurrection spell.
Resurrection spell that uses these?
It's a complicated deal basically, but it's not really for the resurrection spell, but like the payoff for a person, because these are for someone we know.
Okay.
We're basically helping a friend, and the friend needs these herbs for something.
Right. You can tell that his demeanor changes when you say you need them for a resurrection, because that's a weird ask that you just said. I'll tell you what, I can still. I mean, I can definitely sell you these. Do you know the quantity that you'll need?
As much as you have.
Okay, here's what I can do. I can offer you. We usually stock these in like 10-pound bags, so we usually have like one of each. I can offer you 2 pounds, for say 50 gold a piece. So like I can scoop this out into like 2-pound bags for you.
Sure, sounds good.
Okay. And then can I also get you to sign? Here we go. This one. And he passes you a piece of parchment and a quill and ink and pen. Basically, looking it over, it's like an indemnity clause. So it's like, once the herbs leave the cloister is no longer responsible for whatever goes on with the herbs.
Okay.
Like, if, like, you are basically signing that you know what these herbs are and that you know how to use them. I've had to sign these before for chemistry labs. Yeah. You're just like, I just sold it to you. Now it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
And basically it includes like MDS sheets. It's like, here's all the dangers. Here's what not to do. Okay, so you sign that. He says, thank you, files that away. And he will walk out the door, 15 minutes. He can scoop out these bags and he'll carry them out to you. Do you need, would you like, do you need help carrying these somewhere?
Oh, no, it's fine. And I will take off my backpack and open it up and put it in.
Oh, okay. Useful.
Very handy
like
device.
That. Yeah. Cool.
How much did I owe you?
100 gold for both of those.
Yes. And she will hand him 100 gold.
Okay. 100 gold it is. Thank you very much. And I hope that you have a wonderful day and that Ilmater the Tenderhearted goes with you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. And you head back out past the statues on the outside of the cloister to go meet up with your friends again.
I will try to sneak up on Hattie while she's looking at the egg.
Yeah. So Alice is she gets up and goes. She's gonna go take care of this problem. And are you guys just gonna stand there for an hour? Actually, yeah, you go ahead and try to sneak up on Hattie. So go ahead and roll me a stealth check, and Hattie, roll me
no.
perception at disadvantage.
Do I see this occurring? Of just like Raina slowly approaching Hattie.
I have a disadvantage stealth naturally, so but I rolled pretty okay.
Okay.
12.
I rolled a 15 and a 17.
Uh,
15.
yeah, Snipe, you see that Reyna is creeping up on Hattie.
I just let it happen. I just fucking. Yeah, keep staring at that. Okay.
Do you think it's meant to move?
Is
I
it?
don't know whether it's shaking or if I'm shaking and therefore it's shaking, but it's.
As she's saying this, I will try to grab her in her side.
Ah! Yeah.
Almost crushes the egg.
Almost crushes it.
Oh,
Yeah, actually, Hattie, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Don't drop the egg.
20? Unnatural.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, you
to cause a bit of ruckus.
you save the egg before it falls out of your hands.
So,
I mean,
did you make the deal?
Yeah, I'm looking after a magic egg.
Magic? How?
Very, yes.
Reyna will pick it up out of your hands.
Ah, look after it. Don't drop it. Don't shake it. Ah,
It's an egg.
it's an egg.
Okay.
It came from that chicken.
Is it magical?
And you will see her eyes glance, and she will cast detect magic to see if the egg is magical. Because there's a question, so she
Because
will.
apparently
Yeah,
this is what we're
it's
doing instead of
super
meeting up
magical.
with our friends.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit in my head. My head's just like, this is the stupidest thing we've ever asked, and yet I'm more than happy to agree that if we drop that egg, it will mean bad news for all of us right now.
Is it really magical, Jenks?
Yeah, it's actually magical.
What school do I get off it?
You get what would that school be? Transmutation magic off it.
Oh. Okay. And I will carefully place it back into Hattie's hands. Good luck with that. You can do it.
Thank
I
you.
promise.
What am I doing?
Nothing.
Holding
Just
it and
capture
making sure nothing happens to it.
Well, I think when the woman gave it to you, she said that if you break it, all you need is a mending spell. I cannot cast that magic. Can anyone cast that magic?
No.
No. We'll let Raina confirm. Raina, do you know mending?
A mending spell, you say? It's dropping in now.
Yes, mending.
Okay, mending. Yeah, I can do that. Why? Because the egg. How? Okay.
Yeah, the woman said if the egg drops and it breaks, all you need is mending.
Good to know. Let's hope it not comes to that.
How do you keep it safe?
I am.
I don't. Okay.
That noise wasn't me.
I just
Like,
had to smash.
Bam! And it broke. If you're kind of okay, if you're gonna walk like this, you not only need to keep your eyes on the egg, but also on the feet below you, like where you're walking, because otherwise you will trip and fall, and it will still break. Yeah.
Arthur, maybe
Hey, Arthur, you good with eggs?
Arthur, walk ahead.
He flashes
Hattie.
like little fangs. Just like
Okay, maybe not.
Arthur, maybe walk just a little ahead of Hattie so that you're in her peripheral vision, so she can at least see where she's going through you as she takes on this grandiose task of looking after an egg.
he'll chirp and he'll be perfectly fine to do that. An hour later, Alice Garbanzo comes back.
We've not left the square, by the way. We've just been
No.
walking.
Yeah,
about
you've
in
just been walking around in circles. And she has 4 sacks, like big sacks, that she's just like dragging down the street. She says, Alice Garbanzo comes through in a pinch. And she like sets the sacks down in front of you. There you go.
Hi, Miss
All the
Alice.
herbs you could need.
Okay.
Hello.
Do you want your egg back? Your
Oh, no,
pre-chicken.
You can keep it, dear. I want you to look after it for as long as possible.
Okay.
Don't
What
worry.
if the
I'll let you know
possibility-
when I want to collect the egg.
Will you want to collect it again? Or is it just mine?
For now, it's yours. I'll let you know if I
For
want it back.
now. Okay, well, I'm
You
not
can
sticking
keep
around
it.
town.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You take it with you on your travels. You can put it in a pocket. You can put it in your bag if you want. You just keep an eye on that egg for me.
Okay.
You got a miscellaneous item, egg, in your inventory.
Egg. I have egg.
Egg.
Vibe checked
Miscellaneous
egg.
egg.
Yeah, and Hattie's gonna kind of put it in her bag because I assume she took her bag with her because we're leaving.
Yep.
We are leaving.
Finally.
And just kind of stuffs it in around her gi and hopes that keeps it like
Steady.
compact. Yeah.
Understood. Okay. What else are you guys doing before you leave? Is there any last minute business before you head out? You already have your herbs.
I need a saddle.
Yes, you can find a saddle. Just go ahead and roll me a flat persuasion check.
Persuasion or just charisma?
Persuasion, because you're trying to persuade someone.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You can find a saddle that fits for, I did not see what that post-it said, for 10 gold.
10 gold. That's great. And of course you don't only need a saddle, you also need other stuff, but do I also find other stuff? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
the English
like,
terms, but...
for 10 gold, you're getting like a whole set of tacking.
Okay, good. Okay.
Before we leave, should we talk about what happened, or since we can't really do that in the open?
We should probably tell Arceus that we're going.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's with Sash.
Your crush.
I have not even talked to her properly, so
I know, we heard you babbling right in front of her, so that indicates you're slightly embarrassed to talk to her because you blush quite a lot when you talk to her.
I did no such thing. So I mean, the joke's on you. So
Do we also need to contact Kaya to say we're coming their way?
I already said that
I
I
think
was
it
gonna
would be
get
a
stuff.
wonderful surprise.
Yeah?
Yeah,
No,
I've
we
already
can
told
from Kaya, okay.
So should we wait till we meet up with the others for me to discuss what I've found out, or?
Yeah, we also have a story to tell you, but I think it's the best. If you need to get it off your chest, you can tell us now, but I think it's the best when we all meet up, we can tell each other what we found out.
I think as as a dungeon master, a piece of possible advice, this would be an excellent conversation to have on the road where there aren't a lot of people traveling nearby you, and you can have this conversation for as long as you want and not fear interruption.
Yeah.
All right. While you go and tell Arceus that we're leaving, I have some business at the cloister.
I can just send Artius a sending message if you want, so we can leave right now, but if you want to go to the cloister, that's okay.
I just want to speak to Matron Seraphina. Arceus said she should be there.
Let's... Okay. One last split up before we go out. Let's go to the cloister. You go to the cloister. We will go to the Merchants Guild, I believe it was called.
Yes.
And we will tell Artius that we're leaving. And that we'll be back sometime soon. And we'll keep in contact with him.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Halra heads to the cloister.
Okay. Halra, what do you want to say at the cloister? So as you arrive, you pass by the statues of Ilmater. You recognize them as the different aspects of the god as you walk past them. When you get to the cloister, you see that Matron Seraphina is actually directing a small group of healers in the main courtyard. And she sees you, and she waves, and she walks over, and she offers up a hug or a firm handshake, your preference.
A hug. I go
A
for
hug. Yeah, she gives you a hug. Well, now, I hear that you have just been tearing things up down here in Skirnabel. You and your friends? You and your new traveling companions?
Yes, I apologize if we've caused you any trouble, since you're the one who recommended us.
No, dear. My reputation can survive a little bit of pushing around of the healers, especially when it turns out that I think you may have been justified in what you were doing. From what I hear from Master Palia, anyway. The way that he explained it to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I had to leave briefly. I went to the Riverside Chapel just to gather some thoughts.
How'd that go for you?
I have some closure, I guess you'd say.
All right, then. That's good. That's on the path to something, then.
Yeah.
What do you think you'll do next?
Well, right now, obviously, I'm with the traveling companions, but next, I am not sure what to do after. I know I'm heading to Elturel, for a couple of reasons, but after that, I don't know what I'm doing. Whether to continue, I might continue with Torm, but again, I'm not sure.
All right, then. Well, you know that you can always send me a message if you need to. You know? I know that sending isn't really in your repertoire, but maybe one of your new friends can drop me a line if you really need to.
Yeah. If I need to talk, I will send you a message.
Now, I hate to cut and run, dear, but I do have a lot of things that I need to pick up. It's been quite a few years since I've been down here at the cloister, so I need to see how things are run around here now and set them right.
Oh, of course.
Well,
Of course, I will leave you to it. I'm on my way out of town now. I was just going to say hello, and also that I will see you again soon.
excellent. Looking forward to the next visit, dear. And she'll give you another quick hug, and then she'll stride back over to the healers and start asking them questions and directing them around again. The rest of you head over to the Merchants Guild, where you find Ardius stepping out of the building.
We always seem to catch each other outside a building.
I know, right? We're busy people, I guess. We always are going here and there. But I just wrapped up with Sasha, so I'm headed back to the Bloody Oak.
Okay. We wanted to let you know that we'll be heading out of town for a few days. We'll probably be returning in a while. But
Okay.
if you want to get going to somewhere where you need to go, you're welcome to. But we'll keep in contact with you.
All right. Well, it looks to me like I'll be headed down the way to Elturel. Maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. I'll have to see what the boats are like. But maybe we'll catch each other there if you guys end up there. I'm visiting with a friend of mine, Anthar Froome, and I'll probably be there for, at least as long as the festivities are going on.
Heard that name before. Hold up, that's me just like taking that in. Anthar Froome. I've heard that name before. I'm not sure. I need to note that down. Hold up. Give me a second.
Quick calculations in Arena's head at that moment.
Yes, I believe that Halra has mentioned him before. He is, well, at the very least, Halra knows him, whether or not she mentioned him before. He is the current head of the administrative branch of the Companions of Elturel, over in Elturel. But yeah, I'm visiting with him for a little while, and then I don't know. We'll see how things go, and maybe I'll catch you guys down that way.
I think most definitely. That's probably where we will end up at the end.
Well, best of luck in your travels then. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. Say hello to Kai and Seymour for me, if you guys should see them. Assuming that they're still alive, I figure that they probably are. Snipe's been saying he's been getting messages. They've been getting messages. So, yeah, go ahead and say hi to them. See if they remember who I am. And I'll see you guys later then. Best of luck.
Can I say thank you for all the trouble you went through with us?
Of course. Happy to help. If you guys need anything, just, like I said before, send me a line.
I can do that, yeah.
Sure.
Talk to you later. Take
Talk
care.
to you later. And you all head off in your different directions. You all begin your journey north.
We're meeting up. We're getting there.
God.
Christ.
In the
Although-
meantime,
We've not met up yet, so Dave's going to be disappointed.
yeah.
We'll get there. At the end of the session, it's going to
Eventually.
conclude with our horses riding together.
In the
I
meantime,
swear.
Kaya, who has been so patient,
Yes, hello, I am also here.
wow. We left you right before the break. Afternoon was turning into evening. As the Skirnabel group sets out to head north, you are headed south, and you have come across a husk of a farmstead. Now, my general impression of Kaya is that she tends to be a very cautious sort of person. So, when you see this, the first ruined farmstead that you and Seymour come across as you travel south, knowing, as City has told you before, that there are raiders in this area who have been laying waste to these outlying farms, what do you do?
Are there any people around, or is it just ruined buildings?
It's just a burned out barn, a destroyed pen, a burned and ruined field of crops, and this low stone cottage that is standing, but the front door is broken and off its hinge.
Can Kaya kind of like get off Basil cautiously and sneak towards the cottage?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check as you come down off of the road and pick your way down to where the cottage is sitting.
Oh, I have a +6, 15.
15. There isn't like a ton of vegetation coming down the hill. Obviously, a lot of it has been cleared away by the farmers who used to live here. However, you think that you are able to make a reasonably stealthy approach to the cottage, which, aside from, having to get to the bottom of the hill to get up to it, is still pretty close to the road. And you're able to sort of make your way down to the cottage. As you get closer, you see that there's there's like a few windows. You can only see the front and the side that's facing the road, so you don't know about like the back. But you do see that there are 2 windows in the front of the cottage, kind of one on either side of the door.
Alright, she'll kind of, one hand on her rapier, approach the open door and kind of peer inside.
Inside, you see wreckage. A broken table, smashed chairs. Most knives, like the kitchen knives, have been scattered across the floor, although you see one that appears to have been embedded into the wood of one of the walls. And you see dark red smears across several of the walls. And there's ripped fabric on the floor. There are coals scattered from the fireplace. Just absolute wreckage inside this cottage.
Does the blood seem recent?
You can make me an investigation or medicine check.
It'll probably be investigation.
Okay.
Ooh, 24.
24. Okay. The blood doesn't have any sort of a sheen to it. And it's not really the bright red of fresh blood. You think that it has probably been... Well, you can't make a reasonable estimation, but you certainly don't think that it's new. But you do see, as you kind of try to determine what exactly is going on here with the blood, that in some spots there are handprints in the blood. There is one set of handprints. It appears to be coming out of a back room that has a torn up down mattress in it, and a bed frame that looks like part of the post had been twisted and pulled away. You see that there is a handprint on the door frame there. And you find another one leading out the door from the main room to the outside. You see that there is a handprint on both sides of the wall. Like up against the door jamb, you see fingers smeared into the blood. Like pressing out like this.
No bodies anywhere.
No bodies.
Are there any tracks continuing to lead out? Blood splatters or anything?
In the grass, or I should say in the dirt, because right in front of the cottage there's like a little farmyard. So in the dirt here, you do see smears that seem to go out toward where the barn is.
Alright, she'll duck into the cottage first again. Is there anything interesting in here?
Roll me a perception check.
Not investigation.
Or investigation if you prefer. I would take investigation here.
Prefer.
Sure.
14.
14. What sort of interesting things is Kaya trying to find?
I guess she'll take a look to see if it looks like any valuables were stolen, first of all. And then she's just looking for anything that looks fun.
Okay. So you don't find anything that you would register as particularly valuable. It's unclear if that is because things of value were taken or because this is a little stone farm cottage in the middle of nowhere and maybe they didn't have anything that the average person in the city would consider valuable. But as you look around, you do find a it almost looks like nothing whenever you see it at first. Like a little chip of something that probably got broken in whatever happened here. But you do find a very small piece of what appears to be bone laying in the kitchen.
She'll go towards the blood splatters towards the barn.
Sure.
Slowly.
Yeah, so you slowly creep toward the barn. As you move toward the barn, you get that smell of wet, charred wood, but you also smell something else. Something that smells like meat that's been left on a grill for too long. A sort of charcoaly, nasty, charred meat smell. You see that part of the roof has collapsed on the barn. Like it is a charred ruin of a barn. But from the side that you're approaching, that side of the barn is still standing. Some of that roof is still intact, and the barn doors are closed.
All right. Locked, closed, or just closed?
Well, as you approach, you see that there is what is left of a wood beam, like a very large wood beam that appears to be mostly charred. It's sitting on the ground in front of the barn doors, but in the middle of it, it looks like there were two latches that have fallen to the ground.
All right, she'll look back at Seymour, sort of like,
Seymour, I think, would be backing you up in this situation because he wouldn't just like let you just like, I'm gonna go investigate that possible crime scene and you can just stay at the road. He's nearby, not like right next to you, but just sort of like keeping an eye on things from the yard.
you're saying he didn't fall off the horse while we were riding, and I
Nah.
just now realized that he's
Such an
gone?
ample
Okay.
opportunity.
He did not. But Finibris is right up next to you.
All right. I was gonna, I guess, try to lift the wooden beam and open the door.
Sure. You actually don't have to lift the wooden beam, you just have to kind of get it out of the way. Basically from the looks of it, it looks like the wooden beam was blocking the door, like keeping things inside, but in the burning the latches themselves fell off before the beam gave way. So yeah, you can move it back, and Finibris will actually help you kind of like put his body weight into it and move it back. And you can kind of get your fingers under the wood and open the door. Inside, you see, first of all, the smell hits you first. The smell of charred meat and some putrefaction that just like hits you hard whenever you open the door. And inside you imagine that they must have been the farm animals. You see that, well, here's what's tricky about it. You have to judge not only based on burned remains, but all of the animals in this barn don't have heads. But you think that one of them was a cow? It looks like some of them might have been pigs. There's definitely a horse or two. And honestly, any animal smaller than that, you don't know what it used to be.
This is where the bloody handprints were leading?
The blood trail. The blood trail was leading toward the barn, but the barn is like, they kind of follow the path to the barn, and then they continue moving beyond the barn, like out toward the field and beyond.
All right. Kaya will slowly close those doors and continue to follow the blood trail.
Roll me a wisdom survival check.
Oh no. That's my survival not good. But my rolls are right. 15?
15? Okay, that's pretty good. There is no doubt in your mind, Kaya, that if you actually followed this trail, it would lead you into the Reaching Wood.
Alright, Kaya's gonna go kind of like to the tree line of the Reaching Woods, where the blood trail is heading towards. She isn't
Sure.
gonna go into the Reaching Woods though. And she's just gonna find like the nearest tree. Just a tree.
Well, so to give you some sense of the scale of this, from where you were, from the road, you can look maybe like 20 miles out from the road. And the
Right.
tree line was like at the edge of that horizon.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So the woods aren't close. There's like there's a big old farm field between this house and the woods. You just know that based on the directionality of the blood trail, your best guess is that this blood trail is going to take you to the woods if you continue following it.
Alright, in that case, she's gonna go. I think she's gonna go to like where the blood trail is relatively close to the barn though. And she's gonna kind of crouch down and mutter a couple of arcane words, cast a spell. She's gonna cast Speak with Plants.
Okay.
And she's just gonna imbue the plants within 30 feet of her, which is probably gonna be the grass or whatever other farm plants are in this area. With limited sentience and animation, we get the idea. It lasts for 10 minutes, and she's just gonna ask, "Hey, do you guys know what happened here?"
You ask the grass, "Do you know what happened here?" And the response you get is, "Can we trust her? I think it's okay to trust her. Well, she can't be any worse than they who are here. Well, I suppose so. Yes, we saw what happened. The raiders of the wood. Our cousins told us about them. Yes, stories of them carry on the wind. They're a danger. They feed us, but not with good things. No, they feed us with blood. Terrible, terrible blood. Oh, the iron, it stings. It stings for us to eat it, but that's what they feed us. They deal in blood. That is what they are. They are bloody. They are bloody. The poor farmer, yes, the poor farmer and his wife. They were the ones who fed us. Yes, it was their blood. Do you think that they're still alive? I don't know. They may have been, but it was so much blood. Yes, it was so much blood that we were fed. But if you follow their trail, maybe they're alive. Who knows? They could be alive. How much blood can one person hold? I do not know the answer. Do you know the answer?"
Vaguely. I couldn't tell you in ounces. So you think that they might be alive?
They may be alive, they may be dead. It is difficult for us to tell. Your version of living is so very different from ours. But they were saying words. Yes, they were saying words. We could tell because we could feel their food. Yes. They also feed us by speaking. Yes, they like to talk. Oh, they love to talk. They love to talk with the animals in the barn. Oh, but the animals in the barn are not. They are definitely not here. No, yes. All of our cousins cried out with them, singed by the fire. Yes, the fire. The fire! No, not the fire. Yes, the fire. But maybe they're alive.
Kai's gonna turn back to Seymour. Alright, this might be a bad idea, but if there's a chance that the people that were taken are still alive, I think we should follow the trail.
And that is where we will end our session.
Hey, just
Listen,
because we went off trail
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can go
Guys,
trail,
listen,
right?
if you get to spend
Close.
a month and a half doing your fucking murder trial, getting nowhere, and being on the same day for 3 sessions, I'm just gonna have to.
That's nowhere.
go after my own trail.
We are never
This is what
going
I
to meet
find.
up ever.
No.
This is it.
Hell yeah.
Although in
Jags,
saying that, we have dealings in the reaching woods anyway, so if anything, we're just going to end up at the same place, just taking a longer time.
yeah. Hey,
Watch
Jags,
us
congratulations. You're now
progression
running
forward.
2 campaigns.
Yeah.
CarpeDM
You
live.
have been running
Congrats, Jack.
Yeah, I haven't.
one campaign because we've
Like-
just been chilling.
You
I wonder what joy Dave will have to know that Kaya is the one who is leading everyone further astray now.
like you haven't actually followed it yet. We'll see how it goes next time.
So much time. Oh my god, we're gonna play out the entire time that we follow that trail minute by minute.
No.
Well, that concludes our session for this week. Our first introduction to the Raiders of the Reaching Wood. And I hope that you all join us next week as we continue this story. We'll have Dave back. We'll see what Kai and Seymour get up to. Maybe everyone will meet, or maybe it'll be another 3 months. Who knows? Until then, though, you can tune in tomorrow for the Crimson Petal, which is Dave's campaign. You can also tune in on Wednesdays for I Roll Therefore I Am, the exceptional D&D Talkback podcast where the cast gets together, talks about all the shit going down in these games, and it's great. I love it. And until then, I hope that you all have a good night, and adventure on, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.